After spending the last 2 weeks in the tiny town of Peñafiel and having the most incredible time at their Fiesta San Roque, we had to say our goodbyes to our family, and then we hopped on a bus and then a train and arrived in Caudete. We are here to visit our friends Ruth and Rob that we met in Mexico, have traveled now to Iceland with, and we are very excited to be in their hometown experiencing one of the most traditional festivals, Moros y Cristianos. This is a side of Spain that we didn't even know existed. Its history dates back thousands of years, and I have a feeling this is going to be an absolutely epic experience. Party! We're going to be exploring the wine here. It's amazing. We're going to be having some traditional food. Look
Definitely not me.
this. And of course, we are going to be having a lot of fun at this week's festivities. Before the festivities officially kicked off, we visited one of the nearby wineries in the state of Valencia, about a 30-minute drive from Caudete. This wine region isn't nearly as popular as La Rioja or Ribera del Duero in the north of Spain, but is quickly gaining notoriety for its unique varietals and indigenous winemaking practices. Winemaking in this area dates back to Roman times, roughly 2,000 years ago. The winery we visited in Moixent was called Celler de Rora. It's a fairly young winery that opened its doors in 1996 and is making several delicious new age wines with common varietals like Monastrell, Garnache, Petit Verdot, Syrah, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Merlot. But it's also using age-old winemaking techniques with local native varietals like the Mando Tinto and Verdillo Blanco grapes in an ancient underground winery. Historic winemaking in this region used natural clay jars called amphora to ferment and age wine. These jars were embedded into the earth below ground where temperatures were cooler and more controlled, and then sealed with individual stone lids during the fermentation process. Wine made in these natural amphora gives similar effects to barrel aging without adding oak flavor or deacidifying the wine. Celler de Rora is exploring these renewed amphoras in their winemaking to honor viniculture history here while using natural and organic practices. The underground winery was first excavated 300 years ago. It houses 97 buried amphora today, which can hold anywhere from 600 to 2,800 liters of wine. Of the 97 ancient jars, 20 have been dug out, renovated, and then reburied in the local soil, which is a mixture of sand, limestone, chalk, and clay. The crushed grapes from above are transported to the jars down a gravity-fed stone channel that winds through the underground winery. We've been in old bodegas before, but not one with this much infrastructure, and it's amazing. This one's specifically used for crianza because it's the ideal temperature for aging. So they do other wines upstairs that need to have like more control in the winemaking process, but this has been like time tested for making crianza.
Wow.
Amazing. It smells so good. So cool.
No, nada, que os interrumpo un segundito y así os comento un poco sobre el buses, que es el último vino que vais a probar. Mirad, por aquí está la botella y os recuerdo que es uno de los vinos clásicos, ¿no? Junto con
Absolutely fantastic. The experience of the wine tour was so unique. I love how much they are using traditional practices from hundreds of years ago. Even the label of this wine we're trying right now, it uses the ancient letters from the Iberian Peninsula. They ended up thinking it was like a love letter at first, but it's not. It was the accountant of the town keeping record of who bought what. It's way less romantic than the idea they first found, but you can actually see the tablet in the town next door. It's a very important piece of this area's culture. Absolute must to visit, but there's so many different bodegas to try in this area. He said 30 to 50 different bodegas within a little 3-town radius. Lots of options for trying wine.
Wow.
Today we are making Gachamigas. It's kind of actually hard to find. Luckily, Javi's friend, Marga, is going to be making it for us.
This is a very traditional plate from this area, like this town and the ones surrounding. It's not typical everywhere else. The plate is called Gachamiga, which is not to be confused with migas or gachas, because that's two different dishes. And basically the ingredients are flour, water, olive oil, and garlic and salt. It's very simple ingredients, and the origins was when the shepherd, they could make this very early in the morning, and because it's so filling, and then they could be all day out. So the saying for this is pan con pan, comida de tontos. because it's bread with bread, and then it's like food for silly people. Or it's more for winter, but because the parties are coming and like it's started to get chilly outside, it's already a good time to have it. The time where we have it is like around 10 in the morning, so you cook it from like 8:30 until 10.
Got it! They have jamon flavored chips, and they're probably the best thing I've ever eaten. We do not eat chips.
We've consumed like 3 bags on our own.
They're so addictive. We came to Ruth and Rob's house and they bought a 120-year-old family home and they are completely redoing it. And obviously with its age, it needs a lot of work. Pretty amazing though. They're doing most of the work themselves. Rob's been plastering today and they have this beautiful terrazzo they've redone. So it's just kind of cool even though we're in a construction zone. Making memories.
Definitely.
Cannot wait for it to be finished. It's going to be beautiful.
Many more fiestas.
And also, it's goals for us. I would love to buy an old Spanish home in the countryside and renovate it like this.
And then, as soon as you do that, you don't let it stick.
Feel,
It
Dennis.
feels like I'm gonna mess this up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It is a very windy day today. I don't know that we chose the best day for cooking outdoor in a grill, but it's turning out beautifully. The dough is starting to take shape. It's become almost like a really sticky pudding. They've added the garlic and they're just continuing to stir and stir and stir. And now they've removed the grate so it's a little bit closer with the fire. And I think he's even gonna flip it using the pan. Woo!
Se abre el pan, ¿vimos? Y
Mira. It's so good. You get the garlic. ¡Qué rico!
ah, buena.
You use the bread to cut it.
Claro.
It's so good. In Spain, especially in the small towns like Caudete, they go all out to celebrate their patron saints. It's a week-long party, and in Caudete, this event is called Moros y Cristianos, which happens in early September every year. This isn't a regular fiesta. It's all about reliving the epic battle between the Moors and the Christians that happened back in the 8th century, when the Moors, a group of Muslims from Africa, decided to invade the Iberian Peninsula. They ended up ruling what we now call Spain and Portugal for a whopping 700 years, bringing things with them like paella, Spain's national dish, the beautiful Alhambra and Granada, and the concept of zero. Fast forward to the 1500s and the Christians took back over after a nearly century-long battle. The Moors and Christians Festival has been a tradition in southern Spain for over 400 years and celebrates this unique history with fancy costumes, epic parades, dramatical historical plays, elaborate ceremonies, and even battle reenactments. Before the festival began, we paid a visit to the gunsmith who's been the go-to craftsman, hand-making all of the weapons and armor you see in the festivals. He's a third-generation gunsmith, and in 2023, they celebrated 100 years in business. He's like a wizard, crafting guns, cannons, and armor that look like they are straight out of the history books. These are top-notch historical replicas spanning centuries. His skills are so good, he's even worked on major production sets, including Game of Thrones. Fireworks are like a cornerstone of this fiesta. People have been popping off fireworks left and right. Tonight is the official kickoff of the fiestas. There will be a parade this evening around 11 p.m. The mood is high, energy is flowing. Party! It's very fun. We came out for a very early dinner. It's only like 9:15. That's like early bird special in Spain. These patatas bravas are fantastic. Next tapa, fried cheese balls with a tomato jam. This is a bocadillo, which is a sandwich. Dennis got a black and white bocadillo, which had longaniza and morcilla de cebolla. And I got one with goat cheese, tomato, and lomo. Before the parade began, we went to Javi and his friend's clubhouse, locally known as a guarida. These properties are owned by a group of friends and are used specifically as a hangout for the fiestas. It's common to go guarida hopping during the festival to say hello to friends and refresh your drink. Some guaridas are decked out like palaces, while others are more low-key. But no matter what guarida you're at, expect good vibes, music that'll have you dancing into the early morning, and enough drinks to keep the party going all night long. Before we knew it, La Retreta parade began, and the entire pueblo crowded the streets as people from each of the 5 groups representing the Moors and Christians danced through the town with their special lanterns called faroles. These dazzling faroles are made of glass and metal with intricate designs to represent each group. They are extremely heavy. Dancers have to hand them off every few minutes due to their weight, and they can only be carried with a harness. The parade lasts for hours as they move through the town. The energy is infectious, and everyone is so excited as this is the only time of year you will see the faroles dancing in the streets of Caudete.
This is an absolute blast. It's such a different experience from what we just had in Valladolid and Castilla de Leon. I feel very grateful that we have friends here. This is kind of something that most people don't get to experience unless you have friends or family here, since it's such a small pueblo. This is my second glass of wine in this cup.
Eventually, the parade ended in the main plaza around 3:15 in the morning, but the party was hardly over. Dancing and drinking continued for many well into the morning.
Let's go to bed. That was absolutely insane. You could feel like every single firework go off in your body, like your whole body shook. I was using earplugs. Many people do not. I don't know how they can survive that. Wow. What a kickoff to day 2.
We came to Ruth's mom's house for lunch. She's making us a very special dish called cocido. The basis of it is a caldo or a soup made from bone broth of different animals. I think they use chicken and pork. And then they also use garbanzos, and they have potatoes and zanahoria or carrots in it. And then you just have like a plate of meat that goes with it. It's also one of my favorite things in all of Spain. So if you haven't had it, you gotta eat it. We're starting with some grilled prawns. I guess this is a specialty during the fiestas or Christmas time. Putting lemon on top, they look fantastic. It's like the best chicken noodle soup you've ever had, except it's a level up from that because it has even more flavor. It's delicious.
There's so much happening all around us. We're about to begin the Desfile de la Entrada, which represents the takeover from the Moors. Everyone is dressed up in really beautiful costumes. They have intense face paint, and everyone's wearing different costume representative of the group that they're from, either the Moors or the Christians. They're going to be walking in different formations. The Christians wrap their arms around each other, and they kind of do like a shuffle with their legs. They have to all walk in sync, and then there's someone in front holding battalion to lead them and kind of tell them what to do. And then the Moors are going to be holding arms with each other, and they sweep from left to right. It's kind of a way that you can always tell which group is which whenever they're out and about. They also have different music to represent the groups that they're a part of. We paid for seats right on the main line so we could see everything, because you can't just like walk up and get a spot. We have drinks, we have some snacks to hold us over. We're prepared for this. I think this is going to be my favorite part of the entire experience so far. Their costumes are absolutely stunning. People have been preparing for this all day. Look at them, they're so pretty. I love it, look at her, she's gorgeous.
Cover it
Tapa.
for your life.
The little kids supposedly come up with like heaps full, and just throw them straight into your cup.
Dump it in your cup.
If you get hit, there goes your beer. We had an early wake-up call this morning. We woke up at 6 a.m. so we could get to a procession which began at 7. This is one of the biggest events of the entire fiesta and a very sacred moment for the people here. The story goes, the Virgin of Santa Maria Gracia was buried when the Moors started invading this area. It kind of went unknown for many, many centuries, and eventually a shepherd was grazing in the area where the church belongs today and discovered the Virgin underground. People here see the Virgin now as a very important symbol for this area, and she stays very safely protected in the church except for these 4 days for the fiesta, where she is taken from the church down the paseo to the other church in town. And then they do a special ceremony of the flags. One of the people carrying the flags in front of the Virgin is like one of the most important jobs. I think there's like a 5 to 7 year wait list to become one of these people, and they train all year long for this. They said that they rotate the flags 180 times in front of the Virgin. I can't imagine how much arm strength you would need to do that. Now, after those ceremonies, they are going to begin the reenactment of the war. This is when they actually shoot the guns. Ruth normally participates in this. You have to have a special license.
close to them firing, you can feel the concussions. Like, it was super fun, super fun.
We finished the evening watching the first of a 3-part play depicting the complicated history between the Moors and Christians. I'll be honest, we didn't understand much of the play considering it was in Spanish, particularly Old Spanish, but we loved it anyway. We were very impressed with the set and the dedication of the local townspeople, who are not paid actors, just passionate participants from Caudete. And even though the event continued for 2 more days, sadly, it was our time to go. So sad we're leaving. These 2 weeks flew by. We had so much fun with Ruth and Rob.
Yeah, it's been a sick festival. Miss you guys already.
Now we're off to Barcelona.
Yeah.
I feel very Spanish and much cooler. Woo! Everyone really does use these things. Abanicos?
Abanicos.
Abanicos.
El baile de la Gachamigas. Ahí. Paso español se llama.
A ver.
Mira qué bonita esa vista.